12 Stoic Strategies to Master Life. You won't believe. It is not events that disturb people, but their judgments about them. Epictetus. In a world filled with distractions and noise, many of us unknowingly carry habits that weigh us down, eroding our peace of mind and clarity of purpose. But what if I told you that by quietly eliminating just a few of these habits, you could free yourself from unnecessary stress and live with more focus, tranquility, and strength? For centuries, Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus understood the importance of aligning our actions with our values and stripping away what doesn't serve us. In today's fast-paced society, this wisdom is more relevant than ever. By cutting out certain toxic social habits, you create the space to cultivate deeper self-awareness, intentionality, and resilience. If you've ever felt trapped by the social expectations around you or wondered how to live more authentically, this is your chance to make meaningful change. Today, on Stoic in Your Life, we're exploring 7 common habits that are silently draining your energy and how removing them can lead you to a calmer, more purposeful existence. Before we dive in, if you find value in what we're sharing, take a moment to subscribe. Trust me, you won't want to miss any part of this video, as each habit builds on the last. Let's get started. Strategy 1. Cut out negative energy. One of the most powerful ways to elevate your life is by cutting out negative energy. This is a strategy that can bring about remarkable change when you apply it intentionally. Negative energy can sneak into your life from a variety of sources: people, habits, environments, and even your own thoughts. Left unchecked, it has the potential to drain your mental and emotional reserves faster than anything else. In the spirit of Stoicism, we are reminded by the words of Epictetus: "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgments about them." This speaks directly to the importance of focusing on what we can control and letting go of what does not serve us. By cutting out negative energy, you reclaim your mental space, allowing room for positivity, growth, and resilience to take root. The first step is to assess the people in your life. Who inspires and uplifts you, and who consistently brings you down? It can be easy to maintain relationships out of habit or obligation, but if someone is regularly contributing negativity to your life, it may be time to reevaluate their access to your energy. This doesn't mean you need to cut people off completely, but setting healthy boundaries or limiting contact with those who drain you is a powerful act of self-care. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely said, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." It's not about the quantity of relationships, but the quality. Surrounding yourself with people who inspire growth and positivity will foster your own personal development. But negative energy isn't just external, it often comes from within. Pay close attention to your self-talk, those inner conversations you have with yourself. Are you constantly filled with self-doubt, criticism, or fears of the worst possible outcome? This too is a source of negative energy. The Stoics believed that we should work to reframe our thinking. When negative thoughts arise, challenge them and flip the narrative. Rather than dwelling on what could go wrong, focus on what could go right. Remind yourself of your strengths and practice using constructive, empowering language with yourself. Marcus Aurelius advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This inner work is key to mastering your internal world and neutralizing the negative energy that stems from within. Your environment also plays a significant role in either draining or replenishing your energy. Look around. Does your space promote calm and productivity, or does it feel cluttered and chaotic? Sometimes, a disorganized or messy environment can subtly increase your stress and contribute to feelings of negativity without you even noticing. Decluttering your physical surroundings is one of the simplest, yet most effective ways to foster mental clarity. As you organize your space, you're also organizing your mind. This act aligns with the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control creating an atmosphere that supports your growth and well-being. Even small changes like tidying up your workspace or organizing a cluttered room can have a profound impact on your mental state. Finally, let's consider the habits that may be contributing to negative energy in your life. Time-wasting activities, unhealthy routines, and procrastination are prime examples of how negative energy can subtly chip away at your well-being. Whether it's mindlessly scrolling through social media or neglecting your physical health, these habits can sap your energy and focus. The Stoics urged us to live with intention, and that means being mindful of how we spend our time. Take inventory of your daily habits. Are they helping you grow, or are they draining your energy? Cut out the ones that don't serve you, and replace them with habits that nurture your body and mind, such as reading, exercising, or even taking intentional rest to recharge. As Seneca put it, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." By redirecting your time and energy toward habits that elevate you, you can reclaim control over your life. Cutting out negative energy isn't about striving for a perfect, problem-free life. Instead, it's about being intentional with your focus, protecting your peace, and concentrating on what truly matters. Sometimes, this requires making difficult choices, whether that's stepping away from toxic relationships, breaking unhelpful habits, or confronting your own negative thought patterns. But the benefits are undeniable. When you clear out the negativity, you create space for growth, positivity, and a deeper sense of peace. As the Stoics teach us, the quality of your life is directly tied to your ability to manage what is within your control. While negative energy may not always be avoidable, how you respond to it is entirely up to you. So, take a moment to reflect. What's the biggest source of negative energy in your life right now? What small step can you take today to start cutting it out? Remember, the Stoics believed that small, consistent actions lead to profound change. By removing the negativity in your life, you open yourself up to living with greater purpose, focus, and fulfillment. Strategy 2. Set clear parameters. Setting clear parameters is essential for maintaining a sense of control over your life, and it's one of the most effective strategies for protecting your inner peace. This is not just about setting boundaries with others, but also about knowing and respecting your own limits. Stoicism teaches us the importance of focusing on what we can control, and one of the most powerful ways to do that is by creating boundaries that allow us to thrive, not just survive. The first step is understanding your own non-negotiables. What are the things you will not compromise on? Whether it's the amount of time you dedicate to work, the way you expect to be treated in relationships, or even small habits like not checking emails after a certain hour, knowing these boundaries helps you stay aligned with your values. Without this clarity, you risk overextending yourself, which can lead to burnout and frustration. It's important to realize that if you don't set your own boundaries, others may unknowingly push past them. People aren't mind readers, and it's your responsibility to communicate your limits clearly and confidently. Whether it's in the workplace, with friends, or within family dynamics, being upfront about what you're okay with and what you're not is crucial. And here's where it gets tricky. Many of us feel the need to explain or justify our boundaries, but in truth, you don't owe anyone a lengthy explanation. A respectful but firm no is enough. Remember, setting boundaries is not about being rude, it's about self-respect. Most people will respect you more for being honest, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. The key is consistency. If you don't stick to the boundaries you've set, they lose their power, and you start losing control. Constantly bending your boundaries not only confuses others but also weakens your own sense of control. In modern life, this is especially important. Whether it's a demanding boss who constantly asks for more or a friend who drains your energy, consistently holding firm on your limits teaches others where you stand and builds trust over time. A powerful example from everyday life might be a father who works long hours but sets a clear boundary that family dinner time is sacred. No emails, no distractions. At first, his colleagues may push back, expecting him to be available at all hours, but over time, they respect this limit, and he earns not just respect, but peace of mind knowing he's honoring his priorities. Stoicism reminds us that we cannot control others, only our actions and responses. Setting and enforcing boundaries like this may cause temporary discomfort, but the long-term benefits, like reduced stress and improved relationships, make it worthwhile. How often do you find yourself saying yes when you really mean no? And how would your life change if you started respecting your own limits more consistently? These are the types of questions to reflect on as you begin setting clearer parameters in your life. One of the biggest misconceptions about boundaries is that they are rigid walls that shut others out. On the contrary, boundaries are guidelines that help you preserve your time, energy, and peace of mind. They allow you to show up fully for the people and projects that truly matter. Mutual respect for boundaries, both yours and others, creates healthier, more balanced relationships. And as Epictetus taught, no person is free who is not master of themselves. Learning to set and respect boundaries is a way of mastering your life, allowing you to live with intention rather than being at the mercy of others' demands. So don't be afraid to set limits. It's not selfish, it's self-care. In the long run, everyone benefits when you're clear about what you can and can't do, and you'll find that you're able to give your best self to the things that matter most. The takeaway here is simple. Boundaries are a form of respect, not just for yourself, but for those around you. They are essential to preserving your energy and focus, and they prevent you from overcommitting or harboring resentment. Start by identifying one area of your life where you need to set clearer parameters, whether it's at work, in a relationship, or with your own daily habits. The key is to make sure that these boundaries reflect your values and priorities, and that you enforce them consistently. By doing so, you not only protect your peace, but also ensure that you're living a life that's true to who you are. Strategy 3. Be respectful of everyone. One of the most foundational principles in Stoicism is the idea of respect, not just for others, but for yourself and the world around you. In our fast-paced, often self-centered society, respect can sometimes feel like an afterthought, but it's something the Stoics believed was essential for a well-lived life. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This simple truth highlights the inherent worth in every person and every moment, a concept that forms the backbone of respect. To live a fulfilling and meaningful life, we must treat everyone with dignity, regardless of their status, beliefs, or actions. And here's why this matters. When you show respect to others, it not only elevates them, but also reflects positively on you. It's a reflection of your own character and values. Being respectful doesn't mean you need to agree with everyone or see eye to eye on every issue. Instead, it's about acknowledging that others have a right to their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences. You may not share someone's beliefs or opinions, but treating them with courtesy and respect is a mark of maturity and self-discipline. In fact, some of the most meaningful interactions happen when we engage with those who hold different perspectives but still show them respect. This is a key lesson in Stoicism. We cannot control how others behave, but we can always control how we respond. Responding with respect, even in difficult situations, shows strength and self-control. Have you ever noticed how in heated moments, a calm and respectful response can diffuse the tension, while anger only escalates it? Respect is not about winning or being right. It's about maintaining your own sense of integrity no matter what. A simple but often overlooked way to show respect is by genuinely listening. In today's world, where everyone is quick to speak but slow to hear, real listening can make a huge difference. When you take the time to listen, not just to respond, but to truly understand someone else's point of view, you make them feel valued. It's a small act, but it's incredibly powerful. As Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." When you listen more, you connect better with people, and they, in turn, are more likely to show you respect. It's about giving someone your full attention, showing them they matter, even if you don't always agree with what they have to say. Respect also means learning to disagree without being disagreeable. In life, you're bound to have disagreements, whether in your personal relationships or at work. The key is how you handle them. Stoicism teaches us to stay calm and reasonable, even when we're standing firm in our beliefs. You don't need to raise your voice or belittle someone to make your point. Instead, focus on the issue, not the person, and communicate with kindness. The next time you find yourself in a disagreement, ask yourself, how can I keep this respectful? How can I focus on resolving the issue without causing unnecessary conflict? By staying calm and respectful, you not only preserve your peace of mind but also create more productive conversations. Respect shows up in the small, everyday actions too, like being on time, acknowledging someone's effort, or offering a simple thank you. These gestures might seem insignificant, but they build trust and rapport over time. Imagine how much smoother our interactions would be if we all made an effort to respect each other's time and contributions. Respect is a two-way street, and when you give it, you're more likely to receive it in return. This is true in personal relationships and in professional settings. Respect fosters stronger, healthier connections. However, being respectful doesn't mean being a pushover. You can still stand up for yourself and set boundaries without losing your sense of respect. In fact, part of being respectful is respecting yourself enough to know when to walk away from toxic situations or when to say no to things that don't align with your values. As the Stoics believed, balance is crucial. There's a fine line between kindness and letting others take advantage of you. So while you should aim to be respectful, it's just as important to practice self-respect by holding firm to your own boundaries and principles. As you move through your day, look for small opportunities to show respect to the people around you. Whether it's listening a little more closely, showing up on time, or handling a disagreement with calmness and courtesy, these acts make a difference. The Stoics teach us that we're all part of a larger community, and the respect we show each other helps strengthen the bonds that keep us connected. In the end, being respectful of everyone isn't just about them. It's about creating a better, more thoughtful version of yourself. By practicing respect, you not only improve your relationships, but you also strengthen your own character, making you a more grounded and resilient person in the process. If you've made it this far, you're already taking the first steps toward mastering the Stoic strategies that can transform your life. Comment below with Stoic mastery to affirm your commitment to embracing these powerful practices. But don't go anywhere just yet. There are still invaluable insights ahead that will help you navigate life's challenges with resilience and wisdom. Stay until the end to unlock the key to a life well lived. Strategy 4. Nurture your wit. One of the more unexpected but highly valuable Stoic strategies is nurturing your wit. It might seem out of place in a philosophy often associated with seriousness and control, but humor is actually an incredibly powerful tool for navigating life's challenges. The Stoics, while often depicted as stern, understood the importance of keeping a light heart amid difficulties. Life can be heavy, no doubt, but developing your sense of humor helps you navigate those challenges with grace, resilience, and a renewed perspective. Seneca himself once said, "He who laughs at himself never runs out of things to laugh at." This is a key reminder that being able to find humor in our own imperfections not only lightens our load, but also makes life's inevitable ups and downs more manageable. Nurturing your wit doesn't mean becoming the comedian of the group, nor does it mean making light of serious issues. Instead, it's about cultivating a mindset that allows you to see the lighter side of things, even when everything around you feels overwhelming. It's about perspective. For instance, how often have you let something as trivial as spilling coffee in the morning or getting stuck in traffic ruin your entire day? When you're able to recognize the absurdity in those situations, you can prevent them from weighing you down. It's not about ignoring the inconvenience or frustration, but rather reframing it in a way that lets you smile through the discomfort. After all, what does it truly cost us to laugh instead of getting frustrated? Marcus Aurelius advised, "The impediment to action advances action, What stands in the way becomes the way. Humor can be that tool that helps us shift the way we approach obstacles, transforming them from burdens into experiences that, at the very least, offer a bit of levity. A good sense of humor can also be a social lubricant, helping you connect with others and diffuse tension. Think about how a well-timed joke or light-hearted comment can ease the stress of a difficult conversation. It doesn't erase the seriousness of the issue at hand, but it does make it easier to address. Humor signals that you're flexible and adaptable, that you're not letting the weight of the situation crush your spirit. And that's something people are naturally drawn to. They admire those who can maintain their composure and sense of humor even when things aren't going their way. As you navigate your day, think about the difficult conversations you've had and how much easier they became when someone introduced a little humor. Have you ever noticed how the tension seems to dissolve, if only for a moment, when someone cracks a joke or makes a witty remark? That's the power of humor. It doesn't solve everything, but it certainly makes the load lighter. But humor isn't just useful in social situations. It's also a key component of resilience during personal struggles. When life throws you a curveball, finding humor in the situation can be a game changer. For example, consider a moment in your life when things felt like they were falling apart. Perhaps a work project went completely sideways, or a family situation became overwhelmingly stressful. While those situations are undeniably difficult, finding even the smallest bit of humor in them can help you get through it. It doesn't mean you're ignoring the seriousness of the problem. It simply means you're choosing to face it with a lighter heart, which can make you more resilient. In modern life, where stress is constant, this ability to laugh at life's absurdities can be a survival skill. Developing your wit starts with observation. Pay attention to the world around you. Life is full of strange and amusing moments if you're looking for them. Read broadly, exposing yourself to different styles of humor, literature, and even philosophy. The more you observe and reflect, the more you'll start to see the humor in situations that used to frustrate or anger you. And remember, as Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This principle applies beautifully to the concept of wit. Your ability to see the humor in life's challenges isn't about dismissing them. It's about choosing how to respond in a way that preserves your inner peace. Ultimately, nurturing your wit isn't about being the funniest person in the room. It's about maintaining a perspective that helps you stay resilient. Life is serious enough as it is, and having a sense of humor is a way to keep yourself balanced and grounded, even when things get tough. So, take time to laugh, especially at yourself, and don't be afraid to see the humor in life's absurdities. By doing so, you'll find that this small but mighty tool can help you navigate life's ups and downs with a sense of lightness and a smile on your face, which is exactly the kind of resilience the Stoics taught us to cultivate. Strategy 5. Make your stand. One of the most powerful Stoic strategies you can adopt is making your stand, and this involves standing firm in who you are and what you believe in. In today's fast-paced world, where opinions are constantly being thrown at you from every direction, whether through media, social circles, or even family, it takes real courage to hold on to your values. The Stoics teach us that true strength doesn't come from the approval of others or external success, but from a deep internal sense of purpose. Making your stand is about knowing your core values and living them consistently, even when the world pulls you in a different direction. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. This means that whatever values you hold, those are what shape your character, and ultimately, your life. To make your stand, you first need clarity on your values. What are the non-negotiable principles that define who you are? For some, it might be honesty or loyalty. For others, it could be personal growth, courage, or kindness. Once you're certain about what matters most to you, decision-making becomes simpler. You no longer have to agonize over every choice because your values act as a compass, guiding you through the noise. Imagine how much easier life would be if every time you faced a challenge, You already knew how to respond because your decisions were rooted in something deeper than just the moment. Your values give you a solid foundation, something unshakable to stand on, no matter what's happening around you. When you're grounded in your values, even the toughest disagreements or challenges don't shake you as easily. But making your stand doesn't always mean getting into debates or proving your point to others. In fact, the Stoics believed that our actions should speak louder than our words. If you value honesty, live honestly. If you value kindness, show it, even when it's difficult. People are drawn to those who walk their talk, and that quiet integrity can be far more influential than shouting your beliefs from the rooftops. Think of someone you respect deeply, not because they always have the loudest voice, but because their life reflects the values they hold. That's the kind of power and influence making your stand can bring. But let's be real, standing firm in your beliefs often means standing alone. That can be tough, especially in a society that values fitting in and being accepted. Yet, as Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. It's a reminder that growth and integrity often come from moments when you're willing to be misunderstood or even unpopular. It's about having the courage to be true to yourself even when others don't get it. We've all been in situations where going along with the crowd feels easier than standing firm in what we believe. But Stoicism encourages us to prioritize our integrity over social approval, because ultimately, living in alignment with your values brings a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. That being said, making your stand doesn't mean fighting every battle. One of the most important skills you can develop is knowing when to stand your ground and when to let things go. Not every disagreement is worth your time and energy. As the Stoics remind us, conserve your energy for the battles that truly matter. When you're clear about your values, it's easier to let go of the small things and focus on what's important. How often have you found yourself caught up in petty arguments or minor frustrations that, in the grand scheme of things, don't really matter? Learning to pick your battles wisely is a key part of making your stand, and it ensures that you have the strength and energy for the moments that really count. So, how do you start making your stand today? Begin by getting crystal clear on what you believe in. Reflect on the values that are most important to you and think about how they show up in your everyday life. Are your actions aligned with those beliefs? If not, make small, consistent changes that reflect who you are at your core. Over time, your actions will become an unshakable reflection of your values. And here's the beauty of it. When you live in alignment with your beliefs, people respect you not just for what you stand for, but for the way you embody those values every single day. More importantly, you'll respect yourself more. You'll know that no matter what challenges come your way, you have the strength to remain true to who you are. So, plant your feet firmly in the ground. Know what you stand for, and don't be afraid to live it, even if that means standing alone sometimes. True strength comes from within, and when you make your stand, you become a force of integrity and resilience that no external force can shake. Strategy 6. Set your course. In a world that's constantly pulling you in every direction, telling you who to be, what to think, and how to live, setting your own course is an act of courage, even rebellion. It's about reclaiming control of your life and steering it toward what truly matters to you, rather than where others think you should go. But here's the key. Setting your course isn't just about chasing after the latest dream or doing what feels good in the moment. It's about aligning your life with your core values, the things that resonate deeply within you. As Seneca once said, if one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. Knowing your destination, or at least the direction, is essential for staying on track. The first step in charting your path is to get crystal clear on what your core values are. What are the things that genuinely matter to you? Is it family, personal growth, creativity, or perhaps freedom? These values act as your compass, guiding your decisions, especially when life gets tough or confusing. If you're not sure what your values are, reflect on the moments in your life when you felt most fulfilled or proud of yourself. Those experiences likely aligned with what matters most to you. Once you understand what truly drives you, it becomes easier to stay the course because you're no longer distracted by what others want or expect from you. After defining your values, the next step is to set meaningful goals that align with them. And I don't mean goals that simply look impressive on paper or goals others expect you to achieve. No, I'm talking about authentic personal goals that spark excitement and reflect the person you want to become. Ask yourself, what does success really look like for you? Is it the kind of success that brings you joy and satisfaction? Or are you chasing someone else's version of success? Stoicism teaches us to live according to our own principles, not society's shallow expectations. The question is, what do you want your life to look like in the next 5 or 10 years? When you set goals true to yourself, you give your life purpose and direction, rather than simply reacting to what life throws at you. Now, here's the thing. Setting your course isn't always easy. It often means leaving your comfort zone and facing the unknown. Growth doesn't happen when everything feels easy. It happens when you're challenged, when things are uncertain, and when you push yourself beyond familiar boundaries. As the Stoics remind us, discomfort is a necessary part of personal growth. The obstacles you face along the way aren't there to block your path. They are there to strengthen you, to teach you, and to help you become more resilient. The very things that seem like barriers are the opportunities for your greatest growth. As you navigate your own path, be prepared to embrace discomfort and challenges. They are part of the journey. And remember, this isn't a race. Setting your course doesn't mean you have to know every detail right away or have every step meticulously planned. Life is unpredictable, and so is your journey. The important thing is to keep moving forward, stay open to learning, and adapt as necessary. The Stoics believed in the value of flexibility. You might discover new interests, new values, or even new destinations along the way, and that's okay. The key is to remain curious, be willing to evolve, and trust that the path will unfold as you grow. In modern life, it's easy to get swayed by external advice and noise. While it's helpful to seek guidance from others, no one knows you better than you do. Trust your gut. Your intuition is often a reflection of your values and experiences, so don't ignore it. The Stoics believed that true wisdom comes from within, and that's a principle you should carry with you as you set your course in life. Listen to your inner voice and let it guide you, especially when the path ahead seems unclear. Ultimately, you have the power to navigate your own life. When you align your actions with your values, you'll find that the path you create is not only more fulfilling but also uniquely yours. So, take control of the wheel, set your course, and steer your life in the direction that feels right for you. The journey may be challenging, but when you're true to yourself, it's also the most rewarding. You are the captain of your life, so chart your course with purpose, confidence, and clarity, and see where it takes you. You've already begun your journey toward mastering Stoic principles by watching this far. Comment resilient mindset below to show you're committed to applying these timeless strategies in your life. Don't leave yet. There are more essential tips coming up that will empower you to live with strength, purpose, and peace. Stay with us until the end to fully unlock the potential of these Stoic tools. Strategy 7. Remain calm in stressful situations. Stress is an inevitable part of life, especially in today's fast-paced world where deadlines loom, phones buzz constantly, and it often feels like everything is coming at you all at once. But here's the thing. Remaining calm in the midst of chaos is not just a skill, it's a superpower. One of the key lessons of Stoicism is understanding that while we can't control external events, we have complete control over how we respond to them. As Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Stressful situations will always be a part of life, but the way you handle them is what sets you apart. Think about how you respond when the pressure builds, when the deadlines are tight, or when someone is pushing your buttons. It's easy to let stress take over, cloud your thinking, and lead to impulsive reactions. But when you can remain calm, You create the mental space needed to make better decisions. It's in those moments of calm where clarity emerges. Consider this. When you're panicking, your mind feels scattered and it's difficult to think straight, isn't it? But by taking a step back, breathing deeply, and focusing on what you can control, you regain clarity and the ability to make more thoughtful choices. One of the simplest and most effective tools for staying calm under pressure is focusing on your breath. In a stressful moment, your body's natural reaction is to tense up, but you can counter that with something as simple as controlled breathing. Try this the next time you feel overwhelmed. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and exhale for 4 counts. This practice might sound basic, but it can be incredibly effective in calming your nerves and helping you reset your focus. This breathing technique directly links to the Stoic idea of being mindful in the present moment, allowing you to pause and regain control over your response. Another powerful Stoic technique for handling stress is reframing the situation. Ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? More often than not, the answer is no. By putting things into perspective, you shrink the power the stressful event has over you. Sure, a looming deadline or a tense conversation may feel overwhelming right now, but if it's not going to impact your long-term life, is it really worth the emotional toll? When you zoom out like this, you're reminded of what's truly important, and suddenly, the situation loses much of its grip on you. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what's within our control. In any stressful situation, there are things you can influence and things you cannot. For instance, you might not be able to control a tight project deadline or a difficult colleague, but you can control how you manage your time and how you respond to others. Channeling your energy toward the things you can control not only makes you more effective, but it also prevents you from wasting energy on things that are out of your hands. Remaining calm doesn't mean you're ignoring the stress or pretending that everything is okay. It means you're choosing to approach stress with a clear, focused mind. You're steady even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. And people notice this. When you remain calm under pressure, others are drawn to your composed energy. They trust you more. They look to you for guidance, and they see you as a stabilizing force. Whether in your personal or professional life, this ability to stay grounded in tough situations enhances your credibility and influence. So, the next time life throws a stressful situation your way, remember to pause, take a deep breath, and focus on what's within your control. By doing so, not only will you handle the situation more effectively, but you'll also gain a deeper sense of control over your own mind and emotions. This is exactly what the Stoics taught, facing life's challenges with calm, clarity, and resilience. When you master this practice, you become more grounded, more resilient, and ultimately, more in control of your life. Strategy 8. Keep a smile on your face. Some days life hits you hard and the last thing you want to do is smile. But here's the surprising truth. Your smile is far more powerful than you think. It's not just about appearing friendly or polite. Smiling has a direct impact on your mood and your brain. When you smile, even if you're not feeling particularly joyful, your brain releases feel-good chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. This simple action triggers a mood boost, giving you an internal lift that you can control. What's incredible is that it works even if you have to fake it at first. So while it might seem like a small thing, the science behind smiling shows that it can change how you feel, even on the roughest days. Now, I'm not suggesting you go through life pretending everything is fine by plastering a grin on your face at all times. Stoicism doesn't ask us to ignore challenges, but rather to control our responses to them. Smiling, even when things are tough, isn't about denying reality. It's about choosing your attitude in the face of adversity. It's about deciding that, no matter what is happening around you, you'll bring some positivity into your day. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Smiling, then, becomes a tool to shift your mindset and manage those thoughts, helping you stay calm and focused when things get tough. And here's where it gets interesting. Your smile has a ripple effect on others. Think about a time when someone smiled at you and it brightened your day, even for just a moment. When you smile at someone, they're likely to smile back, often without even thinking about it. It's contagious, a simple way to spread positivity in your interactions, whether at work, with family, or even during stressful situations. And it doesn't stop there. Your smile changes the way you sound. Try smiling the next time you're on a phone call, and you'll notice that the person on the other end can hear the warmth in your voice. It's a subtle but powerful way to bring more connection and lightness into everyday communication. So how do you turn this into a habit? Start each day with a smile. Before you even get out of bed, take a moment to smile at yourself in the mirror while getting ready. It might feel odd at first, but over time it becomes natural. Throughout the day, find little moments to smile, whether it's at yourself, a colleague, or a stranger. What you'll notice is that as this practice becomes more ingrained, it not only lifts your own spirits but also impacts those around you in ways you might not expect. Smiling doesn't mean you're turning a blind eye to life's challenges. Instead, it's about meeting those challenges with the strength and optimism that Stoicism teaches us. In Stoicism, we learn that we cannot control the events of the world, but we can always control how we respond. Smiling is one of the simplest, yet most effective tools to shift your response. Think of it as an act of resilience. So the next time life feels overwhelming, try a smile, not as a way to hide, but as a way to face whatever comes with a bit more strength, clarity, and positivity. After all, a smile can make a bigger difference than you think, not only to yourself, but to those around you. If this content resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment so we can continue bringing you more valuable insights. If you don't know what to comment, simply write, "Silence is power," and we'll know that you've completed this journey with us. Keep smiling. It's one of the strongest tools you have. Strategy 9. Enhance your appearance. Let's talk about enhancing your appearance, and before you brush this off as vanity, stay with me. There's a lot more depth to it than you might think. This isn't about chasing after society's beauty standards or obsessing over every minor detail. Instead, it's about showing up as the best version of yourself, and that starts with how you present yourself to the world. It's no secret that when you feel good about how you look, it naturally boosts your confidence. Confidence changes the way you walk, talk, and handle life's challenges. It's not just about dressing sharp. It's about feeling sharp and being prepared to face the day. Think about it. How do you feel when you're dressed in a way that makes you comfortable and confident? When you take care of your appearance, even in simple ways, it sends a signal to yourself and others that you respect who you are. And here's the key. It's not about striving for perfection. It's about authenticity. Find a style that suits you and feels right for who you are, whether that's a clean, professional look, a more laid-back vibe, or something totally unique. Your personal style should reflect how you feel on the inside. As Epictetus once said, know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. When your outward appearance aligns with your inner self, everything just feels more connected and you'll move through the world with more ease and confidence. This isn't about splurging on expensive clothes or following every fashion trend. It's about the small, consistent actions you take to enhance how you present yourself. Things like grooming regularly, keeping your clothes neat, and simply standing up straight. These are details that speak volumes not just to the world, but to yourself. These little habits communicate that you value yourself, and when you value yourself, others take notice. As Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, your appearance is one of those things entirely in your hands. It's a reflection of how you care for yourself, both physically and mentally. And this isn't about trying to impress anyone. At its core, it's about how you show up for yourself. When you dress in a way that feels true to you, you're reinforcing your own sense of self-worth. It's like telling yourself, I matter, I'm here, and I'm ready. This has nothing to do with vanity. It's a declaration of self-respect and confidence. Think of it as part of your daily armor, helping you tackle whatever the day throws at you with a bit more strength and self-assurance. So, take a moment and reflect. How can you enhance your appearance in a way that feels authentic to you? Maybe it's as simple as trying a new hairstyle, organizing your wardrobe, or being more mindful of your posture. Whatever it is, make sure it's a reflection of the confidence you're building inside. When you put in the effort to care for yourself on the outside, you'll often find that it naturally helps reinforce the strength you're cultivating on the inside. Just as Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. In this case, let your thoughts of self-respect and confidence color how you present yourself to the world each day. If you're still with us, you're serious about using Stoicism to elevate your life. Drop a comment with Stoic strength to declare your dedication to these transformative lessons. Keep watching, because the final strategies we're about to reveal will give you the mental clarity and control you need to face any challenge. Stay tuned for a powerful conclusion. Strategy 10. Make yourself a priority. I understand that life is busy. You've got work deadlines, family responsibilities, and everyone seems to need something from you. But here's the truth that's easy to overlook. If you don't make yourself a priority, no one else will. You've probably heard the saying, "You can't pour from an empty cup," and it couldn't be more accurate. If you're constantly putting yourself last, eventually you'll run out of the energy, focus, and motivation to show up for the people and things that matter most. Making yourself a priority isn't selfish. It's essential. Stoicism teaches us the importance of taking responsibility for our own well-being, and that begins with understanding that self-care enables you to show up stronger in every area of your life. You have to be in the best shape, physically, mentally, and emotionally, to tackle the challenges life throws at you. Start small. You don't need to carve out hours for yourself each day, but even a few intentional minutes in the morning can make a big difference. Whether it's meditating, jotting down your goals, or simply taking a few deep breaths to center yourself, these moments are yours, and they set the tone for the day. Another powerful way to prioritize yourself is through self-affirmations. I know, standing in front of the mirror saying things like, "I am worthy," or "I rise above challenges," might feel awkward at first, but there's real science behind it. When you consistently tell yourself positive things, your brain starts to believe it, and over time, this can rewire your mind for resilience and confidence. It's about training your brain to think in ways that empower you, even when life gets tough. How often do you give yourself permission to speak kindly to yourself? What if you started each day by affirming your worth and capability? Another essential piece of making yourself a priority is setting boundaries. We all have situations or people in our lives that drain us. Learning to say no to things that don't serve you is one of the most powerful acts of self-care. It frees up space in your life for the things that energize and inspire you. Stoicism reminds us to focus on what we can control, and one thing you can absolutely control is where you invest your time and energy. When you set boundaries, you're not cutting people out. You're creating space for yourself to grow and thrive. How often do you say yes out of obligation, only to feel drained afterward? What would change if you started saying no more often, making room for what truly matters? You're not a backup character in your own life story. You're the main character, and when you prioritize yourself, everything else in your life starts to align. The better care you take of yourself, the more you can give to others. It's a win-win. So today, I encourage you to ask yourself, how can I make my needs a priority? What small steps can I take to make sure I'm not running on empty? Whether it's setting clearer boundaries, starting a morning routine, or simply being kinder to yourself, the effort you put into caring for yourself will ripple out to everyone and everything around you. When you prioritize yourself, you create the foundation for a life that is strong, balanced, and capable of handling whatever comes your way. Strategy 11. Embrace gratitude daily. Gratitude, while often overlooked in its simplicity, is a cornerstone of Stoic practice and one of the most transformative habits we can develop. The Stoics believed that true happiness and inner peace come not from external circumstances, but from how we perceive and respond to them. Gratitude is the key that unlocks this mindset. By focusing on the abundance in our lives, rather than what we lack, we cultivate a sense of fulfillment and contentment that is resilient to external challenges. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, constantly reflected on the importance of gratitude. One of his famous lines reads, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This simple but profound practice reminds us to appreciate the basic yet essential aspects of life that we often take for granted. Waking up, breathing, having the ability to think and feel. These are gifts, and recognizing them sets the tone for a more peaceful and fulfilled day. In modern life, with its constant pressures and distractions, it's easy to fall into a mindset of scarcity, always feeling like we need more, like something is missing. We often find ourselves chasing after the next achievement, the next possession, or the next approval from others. While ambition and self-improvement have their place, they can easily lead to a perpetual sense of dissatisfaction if not balanced with gratitude for what we already have. Stoicism teaches us that contentment doesn't come from having more, but from wanting less. And gratitude is the most effective way to align ourselves with this truth. By embracing gratitude daily, you are consciously shifting your mind from a state of lack to a state of abundance. You begin to notice the small joys, the simple pleasures, and the many blessings that fill your life. This shift doesn't mean you ignore challenges or hardships. Rather, it means you maintain perspective. Even in the midst of difficulty, there is always something to be thankful for. A lesson learned, a relationship strengthened, or simply the strength you've gained from enduring. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate this mindset is through a daily gratitude practice. Start by setting aside a few moments each morning or evening to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. These can be anything from large, life-changing events to small, everyday pleasures. It could be the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the taste of a good meal, or the support of a friend. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to seek out the positives in every situation, helping you develop a more optimistic and resilient outlook. In fact, research in positive psychology supports what the Stoics intuitively knew. Regularly practicing gratitude increases overall well-being, reduces stress, and enhances emotional resilience. When you focus on the good, you're not ignoring the difficulties in life. You're training your mind to recognize that there is always something to appreciate, even during tough times. Gratitude also strengthens relationships. When we express appreciation for the people in our lives, we deepen our connections and foster more positive interactions. In a world where we often get caught up in our own struggles, taking the time to thank someone, a colleague, a friend, or a family member, for their presence or support can have a profound effect. It not only uplifts them, but also reinforces your own sense of gratitude and connection to the community around you. As the Stoics emphasized, we are all interconnected, and gratitude helps nurture those bonds. Another way to practice gratitude is through reframing. When faced with a challenge or setback, instead of focusing solely on what went wrong, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How has this experience helped me grow? Even difficult experiences offer something to be grateful for, whether it's resilience, wisdom, or a clearer understanding of your values. This Stoic approach teaches us that every obstacle, no matter how challenging, carries the seed of an opportunity. Gratitude helps us see this truth more clearly. When you practice gratitude, you're not just acknowledging the good things in your life. You're training yourself to find the silver lining in every cloud, the lesson in every failure, and the strength in every hardship. This mindset builds resilience, allowing you to face life's challenges with a sense of calm and clarity. Moreover, gratitude helps anchor you in the present moment, which is a central theme in Stoic philosophy. The Stoics were masters of mindfulness, constantly reminding themselves that the present is the only time we truly have. By focusing on what you're grateful for right now, You avoid getting lost in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. You center yourself in the here and now, where real life unfolds, and where you have the power to respond with wisdom and grace. Gratitude also has the power to combat entitlement and comparison, two habits that can lead to discontentment and frustration. In today's world, social media and advertising often push us to compare our lives with others, making us feel like we're falling behind or missing out. But gratitude redirects your focus from what others have to what you have. It reminds you that your journey is unique, and that fulfillment doesn't come from having what others have, but from appreciating what is already yours. So, how do you integrate gratitude into your daily life? Start with small, consistent actions. Each morning or evening, write down 3 things you're thankful for. It could be as simple as having a roof over your head or the ability to read these words. Over time, you'll notice that your perspective shifts, and you begin to see life through a lens of abundance rather than scarcity. Additionally, practice gratitude in your interactions with others. Express your appreciation regularly, whether through words, actions, or small gestures of kindness. As you make gratitude a habit, you'll find that it not only transforms your mindset, but also enriches every aspect of your life. You'll become more resilient in the face of challenges, more mindful of the present, and more connected to the people around you. And, in line with the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control, gratitude helps you take ownership of your thoughts, ensuring that they are directed toward positivity and growth. The Stoics knew that the quality of our thoughts shapes the quality of our lives. When we choose to cultivate gratitude, we're choosing to live with a greater sense of peace, contentment, and joy. So ask yourself, what can I be grateful for today? How can I cultivate a mindset of gratitude, even in the face of life's challenges? By embracing gratitude daily, you'll find that even in the most ordinary moments, life offers extraordinary richness, and that is where true fulfillment lies. If you're committed to embracing gratitude and applying this powerful Stoic practice in your life, comment below with "Gratitude is strength" to affirm your dedication. Stay tuned for the final strategies that will help you live with purpose, resilience, and clarity in every aspect of your life. Strategy 12. Maintain a sense of kindness while limiting contact. Life is full of relationships, some of which can be draining or unbalanced. There will always be people, whether it's a coworker, a distant friend, or even a family member, who sap your energy or bring negativity into your life. But here's the thing. Just because someone is difficult or negative doesn't mean you have to mirror that behavior. Maintaining your sense of kindness while setting boundaries to protect your own peace is a Stoic strength. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This means that no matter how others act, you should hold on to your values, and one of those values is kindness. However, kindness does not mean allowing people to walk all over you. In fact, true kindness includes respecting yourself enough to step back when needed. Stoicism teaches us that our calm and centeredness should not be easily disrupted by external forces, especially other people's behavior. Part of that involves recognizing when it's time to distance yourself from someone who consistently drains your energy or doesn't have your best interests at heart. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you're being unkind. It means you're honoring both your well-being and your values. You can be compassionate and still say no when someone demands too much. You can wish someone well, but choose to limit your contact if their presence leaves you feeling depleted. This balance between kindness and self-protection is essential for living with integrity while preserving your inner peace. One of the most important lessons from Stoicism is that we cannot control others, but we can always control ourselves. In that sense, you don't owe anyone unlimited access to your time, energy, or emotions, especially when maintaining those connections comes at the cost of your own well-being. Setting boundaries is a way of taking responsibility for your life and ensuring that you're spending your energy where it counts. You don't need to explain yourself or justify why you're pulling back from someone who is toxic or negative. There's no need to feel guilty for putting your own peace first. Being kind doesn't mean you allow others to drain you. It means you approach situations with respect for both them and yourself. It's a conscious choice to manage your energy wisely. When you limit your exposure to people who negatively affect you, you're actually practicing a powerful form of self-care. The Stoics remind us that our reactions are the only things within our control. Sometimes the best way to remain in control of our emotions is by reducing our contact with those who habitually stir negativity in our lives. And the beauty of this approach is that it avoids unnecessary conflict. You're not lashing out, becoming defensive, or cutting people off abruptly. Instead, you're calmly and respectfully creating space where you can maintain your sense of peace and stay true to your values. This quiet strength not only protects your energy, but also sets an example for others about how boundaries can coexist with kindness. People will begin to notice that your kindness doesn't mean you will always say yes or tolerate behavior that drags you down. This is important. Kindness and assertiveness can go hand in hand. The next time you feel drained or overwhelmed by someone's demands, take a moment to remember that setting boundaries is an act of kindness to yourself. It's okay to step back. Being stoic isn't about severing ties, but about managing your relationships in a way that uplifts you and preserves your energy. As Epictetus wisely observed, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. In this case, your wealth is the peace you cultivate by wanting less from relationships that drain you and expecting more from those that support your well-being. Setting boundaries is not selfish. It's a vital part of self-care. When you take care of yourself, you are better able to show genuine kindness to others because you are acting from a place of strength, not depletion. In the end, maintaining a balance between kindness and boundary setting allows you to protect your own mental and emotional health, while continuing to offer respect and compassion to the world around you. So remember, stay kind, but don't be afraid to limit contact when necessary. Your peace is worth protecting, and boundaries are the key to maintaining both kindness and calm in the face of life's challenges. As we conclude this journey into the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and its secrets for inner peace, I encourage you to pause and truly consider how you can apply these teachings to your daily life. The path to a more fulfilling existence begins with small, intentional steps. Whether it's cutting out the negative energy that drains you, setting firm boundaries that protect your peace, or practicing kindness while still honoring your own limits, these strategies aren't just abstract ideas. They are practical, actionable ways to reclaim control over your mind, your emotions, and ultimately, your life. Remember, Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control external events, we always have the power to choose how we respond. In a world full of distractions, chaos, and stress, these principles serve as an anchor, guiding us toward a life of clarity, resilience, and deeper purpose. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? What small change can you make today to remove a source of stress, strengthen your inner calm, or live more aligned with your values? Take a moment to reflect. What is the biggest source of negativity in your life right now, and how can you begin to cut it out? Or perhaps, where could you set a boundary that allows you to regain control over your time and energy? These are not easy questions, but they are the ones that lead to lasting transformation. I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below. What resonates most with you? How do you plan to integrate these Stoic principles into your daily routine? Your insights could inspire others on their own journey toward inner peace and fulfillment. If you found value in today's discussion, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic in Your Life. By doing so, you'll join a community of like-minded individuals who, like you, are striving to live with greater purpose, clarity, and strength. Remember, lasting peace is not something that happens overnight. It's the result of small, consistent actions over time. And with each step you take, you move closer to becoming the best version of yourself. So, as you go forward, keep this Stoic truth in mind. Your peace is within your control, and every day is an opportunity to cultivate it. Keep striving, keep reflecting, and know that the power to live a truly fulfilling life lies within you.